Welcome to Shine That Divine with Kathy Wolfskill. Any likes, comments, and or shares you offer are so appreciated. Having just revealed last week my treachery toward poor John Parrish in the 3rd grade, and the following 5.5 decades of reliving that shameful memory from time to time, I felt compelled to immerse myself in all things John, especially after discovering that he died last year. 2 of the comments left on his obituary site were from classmates. Doug Cox said he'd been friends with John since kindergarten at Cowan School, the school I transferred to in the 3rd grade to start the next chapter of my life. I dug out elementary school class pictures, and then while looking through our senior class yearbook, I learned John was on quite a few sports teams and mainly excelled at wrestling. It said he was all-state and even wrestled in college. I'd always gotten the impression that he wasn't the academic type, but he was on the honor roll freshman and sophomore years. Who knew? I always thought he had just an older and a younger brother, but he was one of 7 kids. He had a daughter and 2 grandchildren, but no mention of a wife. It got me thinking how little I knew of him, while assuming I knew how negatively I impacted his whole life, watching from the outside while I vaguely regretted all those years of not being an insider. Plus, my knowledge of his existence was truncated at high school, at graduation. It's after that that we do all of our evolving into the people that we choose to be and the experiences we choose to have. The blast from the past got me thinking of my life and where I'd chosen to go, and how my siblings had been glued together for varying lengths of years before being achingly separated, then coming together again in new forms. When my younger brother Jeff turned 60, we created an epic slideshow of his life from birth to that day. We put it into his favorite music and of course showed all the happy times with family, racing, friends, dogs, club activities, California and Colorado life through the years. When we siblings all viewed the video together at his birthday, we were joyously laughing. But by the end, I had the distinct feeling that the mood had turned bittersweet for Jeff. He wasn't laughing anymore. He was quiet. And I had the impression that so much youthful life, vibrancy of experience, love, and relationships were now past. They were missing. They were lost. So much that had once been was gone. His favorite dogs, our mom had passed decades earlier. The business he and other brother Matt had moved to Colorado to start was gone. The intensity of dirt biking and racing, and all we kids who had been together for a few years in Colorado caring for our dad before he died, were now scattered to 3 states. All of that closeness, newness, tradition, and exciting adventures together over the years were gone forever. Have you ever thought how unhappy we get when we focus on what we used to have but don't have anymore, which is, of course, the past, or worry about something that might happen in the possible future? Isn't that crazy? Really and truly, the only moment we ever have is this one, now, in the present. And in this moment, all is perfectly well. After being irresistibly pulled into yesteryear with John, it was kind of addicting to look on the internet for all kinds of people and things from the past. Recalling Jeff's life review in pictures and comparing old periods of life to the present, I felt myself being filled up completely with the bitter and the sweet together. I finally noticed how sad I had been for 2 days, focusing on all that was lost or might have been. I did consciously accept that fact though, and I made a point to feel it and to notice that this was not a place I wished to stay. After watching a few classic feel-good movies at the end of those 2 days, which is a surefire way to break my melancholy mood, I went to my nightly hot tub session and melted into the hot water. I looked at the moon through the bare winter limbs high overhead and relished being here, feeling wonderful, in my dream house, with my loving family and dog inside, before noting my gratitude and sending my blessings and healings for the day. It was a fine realization that put the beloved past into its proper place and brought me back to the present, perfect moment where all is unfolding exactly as it should, exactly as I asked it to, as a result of the choices I've made, that I've been brought to this point. There is no bittersweet, no melancholy, no regret in this moment. This, and only this moment, is where we shine that divine.